I think the background artist did a good job at conveying a nasty-looking bog. The water looks clear, sure, but I wouldn't want to go anywhere near stagnant water with green crap growing in it. I bet it smells, too. I think Garnet hauled this rock here because she future visioned that she would need it. You can tell it wasn't here already because all the other rocks have moss growing on them. Also, Steven wasn't in the previous shot. He must have been teleported here just out of frame. I raise ducks. Not professionally, but I do raise them. That's a male mallard duck with a female duck's quack. Don't think you can half-ass your duck portrayal in this show. I'll always know.
What is that stuff?
It's the moss that Rose Quartz raised on the hill.
My mom planted this stuff?
Steven has to remind the audience that Rose Quartz is his mom because the last time her name was mentioned was in Laser Light Cannon, 12 episodes ago. The farther we get into the series, the more we'll hear about her, but here she's so irrelevant to the plot of so many episodes in Season 1 that new viewers might have forgotten by now.
Rose Quartz used to climb that hill every spring and tend to the moss at the top.
I never considered it before, but is Pearl projecting this hologram all the way up to the actual hill? I'm not crazy for thinking that, right? It's either that or some fourth wall breaking perspective only meant for the viewers. Just imagine people driving down below seeing it appear there. Dude, where'd that pink lady come from on top of the hill there? I don't know, I heard Beach City is haunted or some shit. This is the first time we see Pearl can store things in her gem, so the show makes this weird performance out of it so you can see what's happening without characters explaining it out loud. It's weird that Garnet was shown using the same power in an earlier episode when Pearl is the one who uses it the most.
This way, we don't even have to use magic. Humans will just see this and walk away.
I like this line. I like Pearl's enthusiasm of such a simple concept. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Who wants to get some lunch? Just me, then. Nice.
Nice. See, like I said in the last episode, this is the most we ever see out of this shirt shop. It's just relegated to a background element. Sometimes it's closed, sometimes it's open, and that's as deep as it gets.
Lars!
Why now?
Yup, there it is. Whoever animated this made Lars cover his mouth so they wouldn't have to do lip syncing. And it's not subtle. There's no reason Lars would be doing this.
No, Steven. No high fives.
Okay.
This chest high five becomes a running thing between Lars and Steven, like a secret handshake. It comes back for, like, the whole series.
Looks like you're doing a lot of nothing.
What the fuck? I say doing a lot of nothing all the time. Is this where I got it from? God, I knew the show had an effect on me, but my daily lexicon? Damn. Every shot outside the pizza shop shows nobody's inside, but cut to inside and they're all sitting around in plain view. Then in this shot, they're walking out of the door through a fucking portal or something.
He opened the door and there was doggy doo everywhere.
That's nasty. I don't like nasty stuff.
Buck Dewey doesn't like nasty stuff. So they're just studying up for the test.
Steven, no, don't go over there. I hate you.
The word is out. Lars explicitly hates Steven. Damn.
Muffins that are like this big.
Those things are too sweet for me.
Hi!
This is the second time this episode does this. It cuts to the middle of a conversation, and the dialogue sounds incredibly natural. I don't know if you've ever tried to write a conversation that sounds natural, but it's tougher than it sounds. A lot of shows that have natural-sounding conversations, Parks and Rec and Smiling Friends come to mind, all ad-lib all of that.
My name's Steven.
Buck Dewey.
They call me sour cream.
I'm Jenny.
Yes! Another food character that has hair that looks like said food. Also, this is really Steven's first time meeting these characters? I'd assume he goes to the pizza shop pretty frequently, so he had to have met Jenny at some point. I've heard theories that the cool kids are like the human counterparts to the crystal gems, and I don't really see it. Other than Buck wearing shades and sour cream having pointy hair, there aren't really any parallels to the gems at all. Maybe that was the intention when these characters were created, but the show never really went that direction.
So don't ruin this with any of your lame shtick.
Pew pew!
Get down, he has 2 guns! There's another shirt shop? How many of these are there in Beach City? I count 3 so far. This is a poster for Dogcopter 3, which is the movie they're trying to go see 3 episodes from now. It's one of those details that makes this world feel alive.
Where'd you get that Brad shirt, Steven?
I have no idea where any of my clothes come from.
We get a small look into Buck's fascination with shirts, which is the premise of one of the worst episodes in Season 1. Just gonna say it now, I do not have fond memories of Shirt Club.
Hey, check out my shirt.
Oh, that snake is nasty.
Hold on, zoom in. Yeah, he's spitting facts.
Sounds like it's time to buckle up.
Quit being lame, Steven.
Hey man, there's nothing lame about seatbelt safety.
I love this joke. I loved it when this episode came out, but I love it more as I've gotten older. I'm a grown-ass man and I know people who ignore basic safety stuff like this. You're not cool for risking getting hurt, you're just stupid. There it is, plain as day, clear as crystal. The smile sign is on this building next to the arcade, facing the temple. From this point on, if I see it in any other spot, I'm gonna I don't know what I'll do, but I'll do something drastic. Blink and you'll miss it, the background in this shot is rendered in 3D. I could imagine drawing a moving 3D background for this nothing shot would be too complicated, so I think they just put a texture onto 2 flat walls and some 3D software and move the camera. I can't think of any other time where they use 3D in this show, ever.
Another reason you should re-elect me? I love babies! Will you look at that, a baby?
I always thought this was just a trope in fiction, but apparently baby kissing is a real thing politicians do as a cheap way to garner popularity. I mean, it's done as parody in this show. This is about as deep as the local politics get here.
He never kisses me like that.
That's rough, bro.
That's rough, buddy.
Come on, I can't be the only one who heard that. Is this like whole scene green screened or something? Look at the edges, it looks like it's poorly masked. First the 3D background and now this. The editing in this episode just seems off.
Oh, it's this lake where some dude died? Or it looks like a mouth? I forget the specifics.
Yeah, it's the first one. Someone died at the hands of Rose Quartz's stinky moss.
I know this place may seem cool, but it's actually a lot less cool than you'd think.
I don't know why Steven didn't just tell them that there's dangerous magic stuff. I think it would have worked if they didn't believe that he was a gem. Same goes for the police tape. If the gems put up a sign that said death by magic bullshit ahead, it would have made for an interesting moment where they didn't believe it was magic or something. I'm just spitballing here.
Police tape.
I do like this reaction though. Steven just assumes the good in everyone, so he didn't even consider that someone could just ignore the warnings. Lars is just fully ready to go in the water with his fucking shoes and socks on. What a psychopath.
Hey, what are you doing, man?
Don't!
Steven!
The background music and colors in the scene make the tone really ominous. This show does ominous, creepy scenes really well, but I think this one is exceptional because there's no monster, there's no horror, there's just this moss. It's not inherently creepy, but the show makes it creepy. It's fantastic. Another tiny detail that makes it creepy is the fact that Jenny and Sour Cream aren't looking at Lars and Steven. They're looking at nothing, like they're zombies.
Now I'm never going to be friends with these guys, all because of your weird mom.
What do you know about my mom? I didn't even get to know my mom!
This is one of my favorite character moments Steven gets in the whole series, and what makes me think so highly of this episode. Steven always assumes the best in people, like I said, but here he gave everyone the benefit of the doubt, but he sees the bad side of the cool kids, and Lars, who he always gives the benefit of the doubt, says the whole situation is his fault. Of course Steven's gonna go off on him, he's completely justified in that. Not to mention, this is one of Steven's most important character traits throughout the whole series. He wants to live up to his mom's legacy, but he keeps finding out that not everything Rose Quartz did was good, and he wants to fix everything. That ends up being the premise of a ton of episodes down the line, and this episode is a taste of that.
But I do know she saw beauty in everything, even in stuff like this, and even in jerks like you. Now help me get them to the car.
And even after all that, he's ready to act, he's ready to help people. I fucking love this character when he's done well. This is such a far cry from how he acted in episode 1. Lars just fucking smashed that truck and the fish stew pizza delivery car? Are we just gonna forget that happened?
I think I died.
Can you say that? That's 2 episodes in a row where they talk about death. What are the rules? You know what? Fuck you and your zip-off pants, Sour Cream. Yes, I'm jealous of those pants, and no, I'm not going to admit it in front of thousands of strangers online. Wait, shit. I love this episode. It has a really slow start, but it makes up for it by having this emotional character moment for Steven, and that really cool, ominous tone before that. This is one of the episode types that I think was missing in later seasons. It's a townie episode that makes you actually care about the townies. It makes you consider what Steven is trying to protect once the actual dangers show up later in the show. I'm glad that the cool kids didn't end up being important characters in the rest of the show, though. We all saw the episodes they got. Well, we haven't, but we will. And I don't have much good to say about them. The word filler comes to mind when I think about all those episodes. And if you want to see the next episode a week in advance, you can subscribe to my Patreon for just a couple bucks. The link is in the description. Shoutouts to my journeyman patrons, Fiore Army, McKeeb, and Scala LD. The next episode is,